All right. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey. A little bit of a delay there. Uh,
Hey.
so we are, I guess, painting lemons that you cut up and put on your studio table, right?
I did, yeah, I did.
Okay.
I drew them out on my little board, and I thought,
Yeah.
let's do a
Why did
simple
you
still life
actually?
for people.
Why'd you actually draw it out?
I like to do a
Is
really
this like
quick
a?
shape sketch with a pencil. It took
Is this
me
like a mixed
3
media
minutes.
thing?
No.
Ugh. Okay.
What do you mean? Is this a mixed media thing? I don't even understand. Are you making fun of me right now? You're
Uh,
dissing me. Is that what,
it,
Mom, is that what dissing is?
in my humble opinion,
Uh-huh.
Bonnie,
Yes.
uh, I feel like if you're going to draw,
Uh-huh.
draw in paint. Like
Well, I
actually
am right
take,
now. But
yeah.
we are doing this 45-minute thing for people, and I know that you are a lot quicker than I am, Chris. So I'm always going to,
It's all about the razzmatazz. It's about staying on
yeah,
your feet.
I'm always going to want to just do, just be a little bit more prepared. I'm getting faster every time.
You are, yeah.
I am. I'm getting faster, and I thought this would be great for other people to work on because let me tell you what's on my palette today. I'm doing
Go for it.
a red, yellow, blue setup. Honestly, I bought my major set of paints are at Garden District Marketplace. That's
Yeah.
at 25, 28, 55,
Oh my
93.
God. No.
That was a
No.
joke. That was a joke. I just did that to fuck with you. Okay.
You do not
Um,
need to plug that any more than I need to plug
what?
my daily paintwork site, which is I don't fucking remember it offhand.
dailypaintworks.com. Chris.
Okay. So you left all your paints and you have some kind of
So I
sad
ordered in
story.
this sample. No, I ordered in this nice little sample of paints.
Your hand is right in front of the camera, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll use the fact that these are long, I'll use these longer. So I have titanium white,
Mm-hmm.
it just says, this is how generic these paints are. It says primary yellow, primary red, and
Yeah.
primary blue. They don't even have a real name. Burnt
Well,
sienna and Mars black.
whenever anything says primary on it or
Yeah, you're
basic,
in trouble. You're in
well,
trouble.
that's when you actually have to
Mix.
go and check the pigments. And there'll be a little thing on it that tells you what the pigments are.
Uh-huh.
And you have to figure it out by the number of what you're dealing with.
I don't know what that means.
Well, such
I don't
as
understand what you're telling me at all.
PR18,
What's
you know,
PR18?
um,
PR18?
yeah,
Is that a
that's how they list the pigments. And then you go and you Google what the pigment is, and
Is
you'll
it
get a
in the back
general
of the thing?
sense. It should be on the back of every tube of paint. They'll tell you
Oh yeah.
what pigments are
Oh.
included in whatever kind of weird hue
Oh, the
you're buying.
ingredient. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. So you
And unless the paint is actually listed as
Uh-huh.
being like just the pigment that's in it, or it has
Mhm.
a really recognizable name like Naples Yellow, which is a very straightforward mixture of pigments in order to get that kind of hybrid.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
Gotcha. So where are you guys now? I still can't, I looked at the map, but
We
what's going
are
on?
above Yellowstone National
Yes.
Park,
Yes.
and I am about, I'd say, 25 feet from the Yellowstone River painting right now. It is super
Ooh,
close.
that sounds so nice.
And I recorded another kind of dual PaintCast this morning with
Yeah?
another painter, Bree Custer, and I was almost certain, because it was so choppy and windy outside, that you would hear the river in the background, but you really don't. It's these Apple headphones.
How nice.
Yeah.
How was it painting with her? How did it go? Like, is she quick like you, or is she a little slower like me, or?
No, it went really well. She's
That's great.
fast and
Wow.
great
So y'all got done in
conversationalist.
10 minutes and had nothing left to do?
And then,
You had to do 2
unfortunately,
paintings.
what happened was
no.
she had a headphone issue, like an audio headphone issue. And magically, our video got cut off, and when I got it back on, it just kind of, the video on my end just showed the top of my hat and my forehead. And then the audio on both of our ends was just popping left and right. Was a little obnoxious. So I think I'm going to have to cut that out.
I don't know. We're always having these little issues. And I just think it's one of those things of life. And I think we've just gotten so far away from just being human. And everybody's so critical. And I just think that you kind of lose the fun and the spontaneity of things if you worry about, every little tiny little.
I agree to a certain extent, until the errors become so glaring that they're almost unwatchable.
By whom?
By what I would think would be most people.
You would think would be most.
What I would consider with my
oh dear
expert taste in such matters to be to deem as ineligible for publication.
Sure. I hear you, but I think that is a level of that could be a level of anal retentiveness that we really don't.
I think this dual PaintCast is over before it's even begun. Thank you,
I do hear
everyone,
you
for
painting
tuning
around. You have been painting around on me. He's painting around. I don't know what to do about it.
I can't help it. All right. And
I am putting in my darkest darks and my
lightest lights. I went with some darks first, but then I decided to try to gauge.
I have to keep putting
my yellow a little bit.
I have to keep putting my this is so bizarre. I have to keep putting my my hand in front of
the thing,
whatever this.
I believe it's called an iPhone.
Oh, the camera.
Yes.
The camera.
I have decided to eliminate one of these slices because I can't figure out how to get it in there and not have it look a little too
janky, off balance. It could look too crowded too. See, that's why I wanted to just think about mine. And then draw it.
With your picture plane that you're working with, which looks like what? Like a 8x4 or something?
No.
How big are you painting?
I'm painting a miniature right now.
Well, it's still a rectangle, and I still have a square.
Yes, it is. It's like 2x3. So I almost keep. Let me just move this over a sec so I can stop hitting the camera when I There we go. Sorry, everybody. I hope people are actually doing this and having fun. We should try to send them a picture of the actual still life in here. Like, you know what I mean? So they really can paint it.
I am going to include with all of these the image.
Yay for the image.
Of the still life or landscape or portrait that we worked from. And I'll include it in the video. And then if people want to request it, I can get it to them some other way as well. Wow, I really thought that would work out a little better. I have such a neon melon.
Do you?
Orange.
Ooh, I love it.
Color.
What colors did you use to get that? I just looked over.
It's some kind of orange. I'm not really sure, but it's pretty bright.
Is it?
And,
okay, I won't be able to see it until really later.
Yeah, the actual video, because these Skype things, they tend to make your own piece look a little dark in the upper right-hand corner there. All right, and my box that I had fixed just broke again, Bonnie.
Oh no, which one? Like,
I need to definitely get a new one and have like a more solid setup. My little wood painting box.
Oh yes, little wood.
Yeah.
Is that a lemon yellow? Not really. Okay, that's okay.
From the way I'm looking at this, I think with the table being as kind of warm, the wood as it is, to me, this is just me, but I'm going to try to make the lemon peel, like the portion that you're working on right now, the lemon, I don't know, looks like a nipple.
It does.
The citrus nipple. I'm going to say that is, to me, something more like you could, I don't know, more like a CAD medium with a little bit of titanium to it. Instead of the lemon or the Hansa yellow.
I have a primary red. Now, I think CAD, I think a light CAD would even be good.
In general, you can get away with primary, like a primary blue and a primary yellow, but the primary reds, they tend to be super weak when it comes to acrylic paint. Yeah, so unless you really know what you're getting and you get one of the heavy body, CAD, quinacridone, something like that, I found that they're quite weak. Okay, so where I'm at right now,
I just added a really, I like this so much better. I'm using a little bit of
Zhush.
Okay, I did a little combination of I'm not sure if it's that great, as great as I think it is. Nope.
I am trying to
I'll figure something out.
Do as much zhushing as I can here.
Yeah, I'm zhushing right now. Hello, everybody. I'm zhushing.
A little less personality. A little bit more hard work, Bonnie.
I think that some of this stuff
is?
I think that some of this stuff has green in it. There's a green quality to these lemons, and I'm going to capture that right now.
That was way too gray. What was I thinking? I need to scrape that part out.
Yeah, I did not plan these colors. Definitely don't really know what I'm doing. I'm hoping to fake it till I make it.
Oh, I have a story for you, Bonnie Miller.
Oh, no. You do?
Yes.
What's going on?
It's all about a dream I had. And
oh, tell me.
As you know, some of my dreams tend to be a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the whole Domino's beach box dream.
Mm-hmm.
And this one,
is no different.
Yeah, it's kind of up there. It's a little bit more kind of bizarre in a technical fashion, and the fact that I remember so much of it when I woke up is interesting to me as well. Okay, so I was being interrogated in some kind of white room with kind of this ambient light that kind of came out of nowhere. And it was one guy who was dressed like the Men in Black almost, like the old-fashioned black suits, black hat. He was kind of in the corner, and then this other dude who was kind of dressed like a cowboy was talking to me, and I felt like they were trying to do a good cop, bad cop thing, and they were trying to get me to write down what I was doing and why I would be considered valuable. And
what does that even mean?
Yeah,
valuable for what?
I could be like, what are you talking about?
I'm not valuable.
And they said, we need to know what you do every day. What are you doing? You're what? A painter? What do you do? And it was like, I was pretty anxious about it. And
That's
I was thinking to myself,
question.
Yeah, I don't do much.
Are they 70? Are they 70? What do you do?
Yeah. What am I supposed to tell these?
Are you having old people dreams? Again?
No.
Old people nightmares? They even attack you? They attack you in your dreams even?
No, they weren't that old or decrepit.
Okay.
And then, so they gave me a piece of paper, and I started to have to come up with what I thought I did. And then the guy who had the Man in Black guy, he from the corner kind of yelled really curtly, "No, list of 3 things." And then I stopped what I was writing, and I'm like, so they want me to list 3 things that justify what I do? And then I kind of woke up, and I was kind of semi-awake, and then I couldn't help but have this notion that I needed to come up with the 3 things that they were thinking about, that they were demanding.
What do you do, Chris?
Okay.
Now even I want to know.
So I think as a fine artist, and maybe this is different for things like musician or, dancer, something with kinetics or food. I'm not even sure. Like, I think I can only define this for what I perceive I do every day. But the first thing I came up with is that, in a way, I think we're historians. And that would have been my number one thing I put down. Now, it is up to historians to actually figure out where we are in the context of our time and place. But we still, they can still do analysis of our pieces and our materials and how they're signed and dated, and they can kind of forensically go back and piece together a life sort of thing. So I think historians
Do we
in a
have
way.
lives?
And all I see is your hand, Bonnie.
Oh, sorry. Can you see my...
Okay. Now I see your painting. And then the second thing I came up with, because I was like still stressed out about this, like I needed to come up with these three things, was that we're
understandable.
That we're cultural therapists. So people use what we do therapeutically, whether we know about it or not. Your hand is still fully in front of the screen.
I can't help it. I'm painting a really important part of my lemon that I keep ruining.
Oh. This is becoming quite the shit show already.
It is a shit show of lemons. I love it. It's okay. Because I hope that people paint better lemons than us.
Oh, everyone most certainly will.
I know.
So
you know
there's
what
that.
I really like. Okay.
And then.
Okay. You have more to tell me.
The third thing that I came up with was that we create the only non-resource thing that balances the value of currency. So, in other words, we create objects that serve no practical purpose, but can replace other natural resources, which was my thought. And I
don't know about that, but
like people value painting
assets?
as they would. I mean, you can barter a famous individual's work or a famous work for not only currency, but also for precious metals like gold. And gold can be bartered for things like oil. And, so it has an innate value that's sort of outside the system of resources in a way. So that's what I sort of obsessed about for a good 10-15 minutes this morning. And now everyone knows how crazy I am.
You are so crazy.
Yep.
It's okay.
Little cray-cray.
So, I watched The Mandalorian.
Finally?
Jill? Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I just finished up with it.
And? What did you think?
Oh, I love it. You know I love it. How could I not,
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty badass. Miller and Chris already watched it, like, earlier already.
Yeah.
And I had to work all weekend, so then I got a chance to watch it later.
It's kind of cool to see some of the special guests that they have as Star Wars universe characters that you wouldn't normally expect as being included in there.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Who was in there?
I watched it all when it first came out.
Oh, well, when did it come out?
Oh, I believe it came out in the autumn when the Disney service first started.
I had no idea. We just got the Disney service, so.
Okay. I think we got it because of our phone maybe, or our phone service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Becky deals with all that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit too thick in certain areas. I need to
Yeah.
actually mix colors, place it in there a little bit better.
I just messed up too. I think I even moved my camera. Ha ha.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, yours are looking lemony.
Yeah. Mine are looking lemony. I got a really great...
I still haven't gotten any of the real essence of these shapes yet.
Me either. These shapes are hard.
Maybe I need to slow down. I don't know.
I cannot capture the
I can't
tip of
stand
the end
painting fruit.
I know.
Ugh.
I can't stand painting landscapes.
Well,
but I will. I'll paint landscapes. But
landscapes have a lot more.
Good to mix it up.
They have a lot more opportunity to feel epic, whereas I think still life has the ability to feel very, very precise. And figure painting has the ability to feel like really emotional because there's a connection of seeing other humans represented in different fashions.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know what I just did there. That did not help my situation at all. Okay, so I think I'm going to carve it back down to the orange.
I just like these because they're simple.
Yeah.
You know? And simple sometimes is just nice because everybody's familiar with a lemon shape. Everybody's seen a lemon.
A lot of people have bought some lemons.
People have bought lemons. Like, there's a lot of lemon stuff going on in the world.
I'm not just talking about the fruit. I'm talking about, that's right, automobiles. The one thing I thought I would never, ever bring up in polite conversation.
Just went ahead and did it, didn't you?
Yep. Okay, I think... Is this the right color? No, that's not even the right color.
I know, right?
It's better, but it's not there.
Primary yellow right now? I bet you wish
Maybe.
you had some primary yellow.
My light is changing too. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but there's a beam that's creeping across, and it is putting some areas into shadow. I mean, it's interesting, but it's kind of annoying too.
I like yours. I think yours is looking really nice.
Well, it's because you're not physically here. I'm sure if you were physically here, you'd giggle at it. You're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What is this anyway?
What is this? You know, I am beginning to realize that I actually have a very, I don't know how to say it.
You have a very what?
Voice. I have a very distinct voice. I might have a very distinct voice.
You mean auditorially?
Just a voice that people like think is different. I hear a lot of people like mimicking my voice in my life. Chris just got home. We're video recording right now, babe. I noticed that I find people like mimicking me.
Oh yeah?
Kids, young kids. Oh yeah. And usually it's when they're trying to get like kind of like Broadway. they're like even kids make fun of my voice. That's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of funny.
So you're saying there's something kind of over the top theatrical about the way that you present sound?
Or annoying. It could just be
Oh,
annoying. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stand my voice.
Yeah, I'm okay with mine, but I could see where somebody else may not be. Like, I'm okay with that, you know?
Yeah, I think I sound way too nasally.
No, you're fine. I'm nasally. We're both nasally, but if we are nasally, it's because we have.
Shit. Yeah, I thought about this the other day. What if
We
we
have
don't have the
sinus
voice?
issues.
What if we don't have a voice for podcasting?
Oh,
You
I
know?
think, yeah. Well, who cares? I think you have a great voice. I think you're fine. This little showy voice that you put on is really great.
What's my showy voice? Are you talking about enthusiasm?
Yeah.
I got it
Your
in
general
droves.
enthusiasm these days is, to me,
Off the
I'm
charts.
trying. I'm just trying to understand it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not trying to hate it. I'm just trying to
I
understand
believe
it.
that I was just as annoying when I first started trying to paint all those years ago. And now
Oh
that I'm
yeah?
trying to do this podcasting video thing and painting, I'm back
Mhm.
into like an annoying phase, maybe.
No, I don't think you're annoying at all. I would have never. I mean, I think you're really happy. I think you're like, I just really like this person. I think this is a good person. Like, you're very happy. You're doing what you love doing for a living. We now have a podcast. We now have a YouTube channel. I mean, this is crazy,
Who
you
would have
know?
ever thunk
And
of it?
you really like it. I can tell that you really, really like it too. It's really enjoyable.
Part of why it's so
So,
enjoyable is because I have zero proficiency at it. And I want to get better at it. So
yeah,
it sort
I
of
wouldn't know
lives in
how to
my
get better
thoughts.
at it. I personally would not know. The only way I would say you can get better with anything in life is to just
Is to cheat. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
is to is to actually just work at it, you know, just keep plugging and you're gonna do it, you know.
Yep. Keep plugging away, Chris.
Keep plugging away, Chris. I don't know, what is your ultimate goal? Superpowers? What's
Oh, I would choose a superpower that would both delight and confuse all of the supervillains.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I would not choose being invisible. I don't want to shoot fireballs out of my eyes. I
Mm-mm. Yeah,
I
that's a
do
lot for
not
me too.
I do not want to fly. What I want to do is to be able to simply point
And paint.
and no. I
No
want to point
painting.
at a person and then
Mm-hmm.
have cat shit start to just sort of
Oh,
form in
nice.
their mouth out of the ether. And then
Ah,
they kind of open their mouth and it just kind of
and like,
starts to spill out. But it's
God, nothing's
uncontrollable.
worse than cat turds. Nothing's worse than cat turds.
Yeah. And
Nothing.
I don't want to hurt the person. I just want to completely freak these supervillains out. Like,
Yeah.
if someone's telling me how they're going to slowly bring me to my ultimate demise,
You want to be ready for them.
I want to make sure that they have a hard time choking it out while they have their giant blade of doom coming towards me.
It's totally respectable.
I think so.
I think the choice of the cat is definitely better than the choice. I know people will probably disagree with me, but I think cat poop is definitely more disgusting than dog poop. And there's this kind of hormonal thing going on inside of the cats that just is so wrong.
Dogs have the ability to eat a variety of food and stay healthy. And cats need, as far as I know, like mostly protein. And they're able to get most of their nutrition out of just protein. So
mine will eat anything. Like, they're wild. They eat roaches and...
For reals?
Oh, yeah. They eat all sorts of crazy stuff.
Roaches.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. They'll eat whatever. They'll eat dog food, roaches, birds. They'll eat anything. They'll eat anything that dies in front of them. I don't know if they'll eat slugs, though.
Well, maybe that's where they draw the line.
Yeah, they have standards, I'm sure. My feral cats have standards. My favorite thing is when they...
Oh, I got way too thick on that now, too.
I went really thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because...
That's what I should have done.
Do you see what I did on the wood? Like, I like to see the wood grain for some reason. I don't know why, but this...
Especially the little chippy parts on the end.
Yeah, the chippy parts. What do you think about this? How am I doing here?
Well,
I'm kind of scared.
I think you're at a good stage to bring in maybe
a background,
some paint in the negative space.
Yes.
In the background, and maybe start to allude to the fact that there's some table grain of some sort in order to give the image one of like the three essential aspects. I think they call. I read something in school like you have to have something like a descending element, an ascending element, and an element of balance. And so I guess I think of that when I think of painting. I usually just use triangles because it's so easy to do in the landscape. I just kind of naturally make triangles that allow like the in-between areas of them to form the balance, and then they themselves can
I don't know what
can be the ascending and descending aspects. Well, everywhere you look on a painting, your eye is either going up the picture plane at a diagonal, or it's going down the picture plane at a diagonal, or it's just kind of steady and in the middle. And part of your job is to manipulate the way the viewer sees the image that you saw and that you painted.
Okay.
Right? Hey, this is all theory. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a great theorist. I do not read about art ever, really. I have
I want to do a
a
background
few
color,
things I
though.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest I just kind of zhuzh.
Maybe I'll do like a. I don't know what I'm going to do for a background. I'm having issues here, but I'm going to try to mix up a nice. What could be nice?
You could do, because you're using acrylic, you could
Mm-hmm.
possibly use that primary red.
I am using it right now.
And a little bit of white and mix up like a pinkish color. And then once you let that dry enough, when you put on some of the like warmer sepia type tones to try to allude to the wood a little bit, I think that might work. I'm trying to add right now a little bit of magenta, and I'm not sure if this is even going to work.
I just did a really, I just put, well, I just put a bunch of orange on here. And I'm just gonna like kind of deal with that. I don't know what I'm doing. I want to do this. I think I'm going to do this kind of crazy little brown pinkish background. See what happens. But
not all these have to be successful. I think sometimes our viewers, and even when we watch this back, maybe we'll have better insight just by seeing some of the gross errors that we commit.
Sure. I think this is scary now. I think I really did something scary, but that's okay.
Yeah. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, Bonnie, people like you.
Yes, people do.
I still have old
SNL-isms
in my head from the 80s and 90s.
Oh my gosh, yes, because those were some of the best. Don't you think those were some of the
Jack
best
Handy-isms, yeah.
Yeah, because there was another one, The Deep Thoughts.
Yes.
Jack
Deep
Handy.
Thoughts with Jack Handy.
Jack Handy. And then there was...
When I was in high school, I think I remembered some of them. Like I used to memorize them. Just like I used to memorize Monty Python stuff. Like Monty Python skits. I used to have those locked away in the old memory bank.
You were one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. You were one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another thing I do is like I just pick a paintbrush for the entire painting, and that's what I use. I know I shouldn't do stuff like that, but I am that lazy.
No, you're a one brush kind of gal. And
yeah, I am.
I think that's okay.
It's usually just a tiny flat brush.
Yeah.
Well,
when I first started, I think that's what I used too. Oh,
yeah,
I'm shaking a little bit. I just moved my camera.
Can you see mine? Okay.
Yeah.
I watched you. I watched you the whole time.
Yeah, well, when I was first out on in the French Quarter painting, and I was doing the small ones, I used to have 5 or 6 of the same brush. Like all I used was one brush for everything, and I got pretty adept at controlling it.
I have to take mine off to like hold on to it. I'll be back momentarily.
Okay. Yeah, there's always a point in each one of these videos where Bonnie needs to remove.
Oh,
for the fine detail-y stuff.
Yeah, I left my really terrible. I just want everybody to know I don't have my my really horrible palette knife today because I accidentally left it at the market, the Garden District Market at 2855.
Oh,
No, I'm just joking. I got that in
that's
there.
2 times.
I know.
That's 2
I thought it was
times
good.
in one episode.
No, I never got the whole street yet. I did not get the whole street yet.
Okay, I'm going to take a rather loud sip of my coffee now because you just pulled that.
Oh, I totally did.
Okay.
Totally did.
So.
Sometimes I do these and I feel like, man, Bonnie, you are Picasso. And this might not be that day, but that day is getting close. I just want you to know.
I think everyone should have a little Dunning-Kruger moment in their life where they just feel like they
I'm
nailed
the bomb.
it.
Diggity
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Doink. I'm okay with this. This is so cute. It's lemon. So how bad can any lemon be once you paint it? Like,
I've seen a few
janky lemons.
Yeah, and I have painted a few really bad.
Oh, me too.
Lemons.
Me too.
And I'm trying to see what that color is. And if my video is a little off, my apologies, because my light has changed again. So it's even more of a weird
at you.
explanation.
You've got a lot of contrast in there, don't you? Yeah.
I'm trying to fit in
maybe I should
a lot more color.
Yeah. Maybe I should do a little black.
It's not really working.
I'm going to try to do a little black, like a little scratchy black thing. Yeah, there we go. I had to take the thing off the thing again. Oh, yeah. Now I'm starting to feel this. Right now I'm painting with the other end of my paintbrush. I am actually scraping paint on. Okay.
Hey, that's cool.
That's what I'm doing because I feel like I'm really onto something right now.
And
so
this video is sort of like a PSA too, because folks who are looking at your half of the screen can read the Surgeon General warning about cigar smoke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look what I just did. That is great. Look what I just did with that.
It is quite striking.
Yeah, just a little bit of black. It's a mediocre painting that I just did a little black on top of. Yay!
I think I'm not sure how much more of this I can get away with at this stage, because in my rush to facilitate my impasto lemons here, I destroyed some of the interesting orange underpainting, and I just tried to scrape some of it back.
Did you use
there we
water?
Go. Now it's working. I used a slightly damp brush, and now I'm going to be doing some scraping.
I'm just trying to get my little cone right. Starting to shape up. My little cone is starting to shape up at least, and I can do that little doink there. Yeah.
I will say that the scraping aspect that I've been using lately is part of my favorite marks on my piece, and it's because I think I'm using areas where naturally, as a sculptor, I would want to see hatch marks in clay. And instead, I'm sort of doing that in the actual surface and removing the paint. So I'm getting something of a similar effect. And I'm able to edge a little bit too.
Nice.
Yeah. Your video looks like there's a lot of green in your lemons.
There is.
Yeah.
I used a lot of green.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing the photo of the painting, like the end photo.
Sure. How do you feel about my the only thing is I've got to do a little more green. Yeah. Here, this might be a little more. No, I need some green. I need to make that green again. How are we doing on time? Are we doing good? Is everybody?
Yeah, I think we're almost at the end point of the video.
Nice. Yeah, we are almost at the end point.
I'm putting on a few.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some
thicker
green
pieces
in this.
of paint, and then I think I'm probably close to done with it. And even if I wanted to go further, I don't think I can, because I put on a certain amount of paint in the beginning, and the more I touch and try to move it around, the more it's sort of graying out on me. And I want to keep that vibrance. So I think I'm going to try to mix up a really, really light yellow and add
I need more yellow on
a few
my
more
palette.
highlights.
I ran out of yellow. Yellow seems to be my favorite color.
It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite versatile.
It is.
Mm. And that can be violet. I don't like anything that's going on in the bottom.
I don't like anything that's going on. I don't like, something's wrong is really going on with mine too. And I'm just like, I'm about to just be like, you need to stop touching this.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think maybe I can scrape some of the bad feelings away. And
you're scraping? Where are you scraping at?
Doing a little more scraping up at the top. And
I'm doing a tiny bit of detail work, and then I'm probably going to be done myself, because if I do any more, I might hurt my little...
Your little ego? Uh-oh! You want to repeat that? Want to repeat the market location for a third time, Bonnie?
Yeah, sure. 2855 Magazine Street.
Okay.
Sure, I will.
Great. I think I'm just going to stop this right where it is.
Okay, are you signing it?
I think I'm going to sign it, actually.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to do it in white. And just put it right there.
I don't know what I'm going to do to sign mine. I'll do it in black, but how am I going to do it again? I can never figure this process out.
Of signing your name?
Yeah.
Just,
I don't think I have.
Just write your last name. Just take a small brush and kind of scribble your last name,
right.
which is what 95% of everyone who has ever lived who has signed their paintings has done. And really, people have only been signing their work for a few hundred years. Like,
all right, I did it. Look at that. It's signed. Can you see? Right there.
You did a fantastic job, Bonnie.
Thank you. Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you.
the
You
end
did
of
too.
our lemon painting.
Yes.
Okay?
All right.
Another dual PaintCast in the bag. I will talk to you later.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.